Hey, thank you guys for coming today. We just want to share a professional development lesson plan. This plan was created based off of a needs assessment survey that we gave to the faculty earlier this year. And out of that needs assessment survey, there were 4 major areas of improvement that our faculty thought they could use a little help with. So we created a professional development plan, and this is a lesson that's focused on one of those goals based off the needs of the faculty.
Okay, 2 of our goals that we wanted to focus on this year were to improve our phonemic awareness for students in grades K through 2. And specifically in this lesson, we're going to focus on kindergarten. And this lesson could, of course, be adapted to work in 1st grade or 2nd grade as well.
And these are the standards that this particular lesson covers. And as you said, I'm not going to read all that to you. These are the reading foundational goals, the standards, and it does cover quite a few of them. We specifically are focusing on a lesson that is covering phonemes and beginning sounds. These are the standards that this particular lesson covers.
The I can statements, the things that children should be able to do after this lesson. I can change the beginning sound to make a new word. And I can tell the beginning sound of a word.
And for this lesson, there were several materials needed. You'll be seeing those here shortly as well. CBC words, of course, for our icebreaker. We're going to be using phonics boards and colored tiles in just a second. Word family houses, a sound switch game, and plastic letters.
Okay, it's time for our icebreaker now. As you came in the room, you should have gotten a CBC word on a piece of paper. If you will find the people who have the same word family as you do, people with the and word family should sit at this table. If you have the am word family, move to this table. And if you had the at word family, move to this table. You've got 1 minute to find your people.
Okay, sorry. Just go again. Any of them? Okay. We gave you word family words, and that's okay. As you see, this could be done with your students as well. You should get them to get with people who have the same word family, so that they recognize rhyming words and those beginning sounds. Okay. We're going to also use phonics boards. And again, like Meg said, this lesson can be adapted. This particular lesson is for kindergarten, so we're going to be kind of simple with our phonics boards, but it can be adapted easily to fit 1st and 2nd grade. So there's some phonics boards at your table. So what this is, if you'll just take one of those. And because this is kindergarten, we're going to start with some segmenting. So the color tiles are used to segment a word. So the first word that we're going to do together is lap. So what we want to do is first take your color tiles, and this is just going to help your students know the sounds of the word. So we're going to segment. So when we say lap, we're going to take our color tiles and we're going to bring down a tile for each sound in the word. So we and this way the children see that there are 3 sounds in the word lap. Okay, so we will not be using that 4th tile. Now what we ask is that we want them to be able to hear those sounds. So then we're going to take the letter tiles and actually build that word lap. And because this lesson is focusing on beginning sounds, we really want to stress that ooh. So what do we hear in lap? So of course, anyone want to tell me? L. So we're going to take our L, which we really want to stress. Of course, this is called the initial sound. We also, and we want to use those words for our children too. Right now, they're still trying to figure out the beginning from the end. So, so we want to take our A, and then P, and take your P. And then you always want them to go back and read us the word lap. Okay, so we're going to try another one. So if you'll move your letter tiles away and your color tiles back to the top, and we're going to segment another one. So let's do the word tap. So we want to start by segmenting and bring your tiles for every sound. Ta, out, pup. Again, this is in the same family, and we're going to focus on that again in just a second. So if you'll go ahead and let's make the word tap. So this time my beginning sound is t, 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 a, need our A, and pup, tap. And then for this lesson, because this is focusing on beginning sounds, we always want to go back, and now they can see, okay, we made lap. And we just want to change the beginning sound to a new word, so I can take my ul and then my t, and I have tap. And now we can change tap to map. So for our students, of course, we would say that we want to change the t to and they will see that we're just changing that beginning sound, and this is covering rhyming words as well as the beginning sound. Okay. Next, you have word family houses at the desk, at the table. And what we would like you to do, there's an at, an am, and an and. And what we would like you to do now with your group is to take just a quick minute to come up with some words that you could write in your word family house. Again, we could focus on the rhyming word and just changing that beginning sound to make a new word. And you can do this together and brainstorm together. It'll take about a minute to do that. And of course, some boys and girls may come up with nonsense words right here. You know, they're learning to change that beginning sound, and you know, we would accept that, and then just talk about the difference in the real world of the nonsense word. So what we're going to do, if you don't mind, we're going to quickly just go around and everybody shares a couple of words off of your word filling list, a rhyming word. This group want to start?
Fan, pan, clan.
Good. And the am family?
We had ham, Pam, Sam, Jam.
Good. And the at family?
We had cat, hat, pat, bat.
Very good. So you see how this can also be adapted to meet, we could change ending sounds here. Right now with the kindergarten lesson, we wanted them to see that we can change that initial beginning sound and make rhyming words as well as just new words by that one sound. Okay?
Also, that word family house that you just did, you could use that as a quick formative assessment. It's not something that you would have to even necessarily take and put a grade on, but you could go around and have students share a pair of words that they came up with and just check off that they were able to rhyme during that lesson. So that's one way that you can have a quick and easy assessment. I'm going to move over here and share with you a continuation activity that you could use just as an extension. It's again called Sound Switch. These are the directions for it. It's a great activity to teach in a small group, and then you could put it in your centers so that the kids could revisit it all throughout the school year. I'm happy to share this with anybody who wants it. But you give them the picture cards, which I'll put up on the board, and then they change the initial phoneme to make new words. So I'll pull up the image mix so that you can see it. Okay, so here's one example. They have a picture of the sun, and you would give them this card as well. Can you notice it later? Okay. So they would also get this card where they would draw a picture of what they had, and they would write the original word, and then they would use letter tiles or magnetic letters to build new words. So they could, excuse me, change the S to buh, and then they'd have the word bun, and they could write it down here as a real word that they came up with, and then they could change that to have fun. They would write that down here. There's also a space for silly words that they came up with, so they might make the word mun, and they would write that as a silly word. So they're also still working on changing that initial phoneme, but talking about what's a real word and what's a silly word or a nonsense word that I can make with that. And then you can have them even just use an iPad and take a picture of what they did on SoundSwitch and upload it to an app like Seesaw, so that then you have access to what they were able to do during that activity. So, like I said, I'm happy to share this with anybody who would like a copy. Okay, and then there's just an additional picture to show you what you would give the children if they were going to do SoundSwitch in the classroom. And that's an example of a completed recording form that Cindy and I did together. So you can see that we use the same word sun and made the words fun, run, fun, and pun, and then the silly words were lun, zun, fun, and mine. On your table, you'll find a rubric that we created. If you'll use that to quickly give an evaluation on this lesson so that we can kind of have some feedback and see what you thought of the lesson and what you liked and what we might need to improve.
We also have a copy if anyone's interested in this lesson to adapt for your classroom. We have copies of the lesson on the back table that you are welcome to pick up on your way out.
And as you're working on that rubric, if you have any questions, you can just raise your hand or shout them out. We'll be happy to answer them for you.
And if you don't have questions, we just want to thank you guys for coming so much during your time